I'm gone. I've gone.
Good evening and welcome to a Mitchell and Mauck'n About the Cardinals podcast. I'm Mitchell and I am joined as always by the owner and proprietor of the Superstition Ranch there in beautiful Arizona, where this week your admission fee is the price of gas in your neighborhood. That's right, we are lowering our prices to do our part for the economy. If your gas is over $3.50 a gallon, that is what you will pay to get into the ranch this week. Tyrell, holy hell, gas has gone up 80 cents here in Central Missouri in the last week.
Yeah, it just went up again today. Yesterday it was 403. Today it's $4.19 out here.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, just lickety split, bro. Here it comes.
Not to make this a political podcast, but didn't we just liberate, so to speak, Venezuela and all its oil? And now it's, gone way back up.
Yeah, what happened with that? I thought we were getting better oil now. So what's going on? I'm very confused about what's happening right now.
You are not the only one, my friend. It's the allegedly podcast with Mitchell and Tyrell. Follow the Mitchell and Mauck'n About the Cards podcast, so stay tuned for that on wherever you find your local podcast. Tyrell, let's talk some baseball. Let's have some good news today. Cardinals playing better this spring. Couple impressions from camp early. You got any? I know you probably haven't got to see a ton of games out there, especially with the work schedule, things like that. Want to run a couple notes by you and kind of get your quick thoughts. Jordan Walker batting .211 with no extra base hits. Victor Scott hitting .118 with no extra base hits. Pedro Paez hitting .83 with no extra base hits. And then Nolan Gorman hitting just $150 with 2 extra base hits. Those have been the least impressive guys in camp. And statistically, all 4 of those guys are penciled in right now as starters.
I am probably, how do I say this? A little concerned, but okay. And on a scale of 1 to 10 of concern, I'm probably a 5 on those guys. And the guys that are actually doing well, probably a 5 on them too, because right now you're getting younger pitching who has you're not getting your guys out there. So the fact that is worrying that Walker and them are not hitting against inferior pitching. And it's kind of a little telltale and a little worrisome a little bit, but I mean, verdict's still out. It's still early. Everybody's finding their stance, getting their groove in, but are we getting for another year of Cardinal singles? No doubles, no triples? We're going to go first to third pretty well.
You bring up a really good point. Most of the talent is in the WBC right now, especially pitching wise. You're looking at guys. The game was actually the MLB.com free game of the day. So I watched a little bit of it. It was a split squad game, all young guys. Palante threw. He did all right. Kind of impressed with Chase Davis. The most impressive guys in camp, just looking at this, Burley hitting .357. He's going to be your anchor this year. Pozo hitting .462. They just sent down Jimmy Crooks, who was hitting .333. I'm surprised by that. Left-handed bat. He's a guy I thought was going to make the roster. And then the most impressive guy, and the guy I'd like to talk about for a minute, Josh Baez. .333, 2 extra base hits plus 3 RBIs. There is no StatCast in spring training games, but the eye test. He's passing the eye test, and he is knocking the holy piss out of the baseball right now.
I have been high on Josh Baez for a couple years now, dude. Once I found out when the Cardinals drafted him, I kind of went through the top 30 list on him, and man, he just stood out to me. Like once he put it all together, I knew that dude was going to take off and he's going to be a superstar. So hell yes, let's see what he's got, Joshua Baez.
I almost said Mo, just out of habit. Heim did throw a little water on the Baez thing, and then kind of brought up the Jordan Walker situation. The quote is, Baez has some pop. We know we need that both short-term and long-term. He's going to have every chance to be a part of this core. We just got to make sure we aren't selling short that journey and making sure we don't skip steps. To me, it sounds like they've already got their minds made up.
Yeah, he's gonna go back to AAA and have to prove it there before they bring him up. They're not gonna do what they did with Walker and skip AAA, and he just came from AA right to the majors. They're not gonna do that again. They're gonna make sure that they've got their I's crossed and T's dotted on this one.
Which brings up, our next topic of the night, the preview of the outfield. It's going to be bad. Right field's going to be Walker. Center's going to be Scott, who the glove plays pretty solid. Speed always plays, but you can't steal first base, unfortunately. Leaving outfield, Newt with the bad wheels is going to probably start on the DL.
There's no
Thomas and Jace,
timetable for Newt yet either.
no, not a thing.
Yeah, so it's
That
gonna be a
leaves your
while.
opening day left fielder most likely is Thomas Sajasi, a middle infielder by trade with minimal pop.
I am, but all he's done is hit. I mean, he
Right.
could be your new Alan Craig because Alan Craig all he did was hit, that inside out right to center right field double all the time. So I mean, he could be that type of player where maybe not an everyday, but a very very good platoon guy that will carry you throughout the season.
Nathan Church, the glove plays. I don't know if
Yeah,
he's going to hit enough. You could throw Herrera out there. He's going to hit. And then maybe a Nelson Velasquez, maybe. But he's more going to be a platoon guy. No batting average tool whatsoever, but it's got a lot of pop. Left
you're gonna
field
need
open
that
for
coming off
Josh
the
Baez to
bench.
take.
There's not much room. Yeah, yeah. That's I think what they're gonna want to see him get more at bats. They don't want to stymie him by bringing him out to the major leagues and him just sitting on the bench and not playing every day. He's gonna need those at bats to keep getting better. So yeah, I think he's triple A. Unless like he does the Albert thing and just forces his way onto this thing and say, "Hey, get out of the way, Walker." Like I'm superior, and I mean he's got the tools to supplant Walker. I mean glove plays, speed plays, the bat it has come around and it plays too. So I mean, guy can he could do it if like he could. Like I mean, he's 22, I think right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean young. So I don't they don't want to stymie that way, but I mean you could force it.
One of the things I do kind of every spring to kind of when I miss baseball, I reread LaRusso's book. Both Three Nights in August, and then of course the last one about the 2011 season. A lot of pools talk about in those books, obviously, a huge part of Tony's later career, and he talks a lot about what they did with Pujols. Put him in the three spot between McGuire and Edmonds at the time, and let him kind of figure out, can this kid play? Give him hard competition, see if he can manage. And when those guys come back from the WBC, do you put him in the two slot in front of Burley against the best competition you can find in the spring? You see if he can hit big league pitching. Put him in spots. Basically, see if he's going to fail. And that's what they did with Pujols way back in 2001 that spring. And Albert never failed. And I'm not comparing the two. Albert Pujols is a generational talent. But do you do that with Josh Baez over and over, or do you just let him simmer in Memphis until the inevitable Lars Nootbaar trade this July, or until Jen
uh
Walker hits a buck 50 the first 2 months of the season?
you kind of forget about that they did that with Pujols a little bit. Like he was so just impressive as soon as he got on the scene, but they really did have protection around him to keep him like grounded and knew he was going to get the fastballs and knew he had chances to make good bat on ball contact, which helped him grow and get his uh confidence boosted up a little bit. So I think, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I think that's a solid plan. Like it's a proven plan. Like how else do you put somebody under fire to show that they're good?
But if you're not going to take him up, then you're taking away at bats from us to JC.
So Jason's professional. I mean, he's a pro. Like he should be able to get there pretty well. I mean, no, I know he's young and just getting to the big league schedule, but I mean, he's probably why not? I don't see so this is all about these guys, and I mean, he played better. Like that's it's about competition. And I'm like, why stymie it? Maybe
Do you put JC at third and then put Baez in left? Knowing full well Nolan Gorman just is probably not it. Like we all wanted him to
uh,
be it. It may be time to move on from that.
I feel you, and then just have him like your can play against righties sometimes, your lefties ever occasionally, and just hit the piss missile, come off the bench and crush one or strike out. Hard hitting Mark Witten, hard hitting Mark Noah Gorman. You know, I could see that, and I actually like that lineup better. It's more versatility there, honestly.
There's just not a lot of production offensively outside of
You
Herrera
know,
and Burley in this order.
no, no. That's why you also keep Velasquez around because he's got some monster numbers. He's the only one that's hit over 30 home runs out of these guys. So I mean, why not keep him for that power right-handed hitter off the bat
You know,
on the
Brad
bench?
Thompson said something interesting on the broadcast today for the first time ever. Brad Thompson saying something interesting. Um, they're going to keep three catchers. They're going to keep Herrera. They're going to keep Pozo, and they're going to keep Pajes. That really limits your bench options from there. You're going to assume there's going to be two more bench spots. So Jay Z's probably going to be the left fielder, Velasquez, and then who's the other guy? Church, because he can play all three outfield spots. That's
Urias.
or Urias, like the other
Yeah.
infielder,
eh,
like that. Who's the
Yeah.
odd man out now?
Unless you don't, you always want to carry, you're probably, that's all you're going to go with. You're probably going to carry your extra spot in the bullpen early on. And
Right. Well, you're
then,
gonna have
yeah.
13 and 13. So you're
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
have assume Herrera's gonna catch or DH, which is why
Oh,
they'll
man.
keep the extra outfielders. There's a little bit of versatility there, but you got Velasquez, two extra catchers in Pozo and Paez, and then Urias. You
Okay. I want to believe that the Pajes magic or Pozo magic can continue. And whoa, I did not mean for that to do that.
He's wearing pants, folks.
Yeah, yeah, thank goodness. I want the Pozo magic to continue, but I don't know if it's going to. And then you get the Pajes factors in there. You know you can do the pitching staff, but hitting a 87. Like, come on, we can't just go off defense if that's what you're gonna hit. We always knew that Yachty was gonna hit about 270 and be a great defensive catcher, but I don't think we can afford that in this point when Victor Cruz is defense, Mason Wynn is defense. Weatherholt might be the only one that has pop. So up your middle, you can't have your catcher, your shortstop, and your third and your center fielder have no pop and no power potential. That's a third of your lineup just down the drain for defense. Like you can't have that. So I why carry 3 catchers?
Because they don't agree with
Honestly.
Herrera. Herrera
Yeah,
wants to
yeah.
catch, but he's a hitter. Like that's his position, is hitter. And you bring up a good point about Pius hitting under 200. You can hit under 200 as a catcher, but you have to be elite defensively. You have to
Oh,
be, top third MLB behind the dish, and he's not that. I think he's a very good backup. I just don't think he is an everyday guy.
yeah, yeah, with you. Oh my god, it's so annoying, dude.
The Cardinals Hall of Fame came out a couple weeks ago. We
Whatever.
didn't really touch on it yet because poor Brian Jordan. Hell of a year to go to try to get in. You're not going in, Brian Jordan. And I'm not sure he should have anyway. He had a couple good years, 100 RBIs in 96. But Brian Jordan is remembered more as the other guy in the Atlanta Falcons backfield that wasn't Deion Sanders. Very underrated two-sport star. But it's going to kind of be a showdown of who St. Louis loves more, Albert Pujols or Yair Molina. You get one vote, Tyrell. Who you voting in and why?
My heart says Pujols, my head says Yachty. You have to give Yachty the nod on that because he just stayed the entire time. I mean, I know Pujols left for, a while, then came back, but I mean, Yachty just cornerstone of your franchise from '06 to 22. Like,
I think that's
come
going to
on.
hurt Albert in the voting as well. He left and Yachty stayed,
Mhm.
which is going to be kind of the big reason why I don't think Albert gets in this time. He's a first ballot MLB Hall of Famer. He'll get his day next year, but when you look at next year's voting, which we're probably not going to have anyway because of the lockout, now he's going up against Adam Wainwright.
I'm sorry, but I hold on though. I think they're gonna uh, let him in. I think it says in parentheses it says players, so I think they might be trying to secretly do both Yachty and Pujols at the same time, let him go in the Cardinals Hall of Fame at the same time.
Which they should. I mean, it's their Hall of Fame. It's their rule. Their rule is only one on the fan vote, but again, it's their Hall of Fame. They can change the rules however they want.
Yeah, yeah, they can, yeah. But in that case, it's gonna be Pujols over Wayno. I don't. Wait, now you're fair. Pujols is going to get to the Hall of Fame, and Wayno's probably not until he gets to what the committee, those
Even
guys.
then,
He's
he
not getting
never
by
won a
fan
Cy
vote.
Young. He was
Yeah.
just a couple time All Star, and I like Adam Wainwright. Carpenter was always better, in my opinion. Wainwright is always going to be a Hall of Pretty Good. He's never going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I agree. I think Carpenter was better, and I think he was more. Uh, say what you will, Carpenter was a gamer. I never felt the same about Wayno. Like, if you wanted him to pitch a gym, it's going to be not his gym. It's going to be a rough 7 innings of 12 hit ball, giving up 3 runs, and we bail him out with the 4-3 in the end.
I mean, if you look at the modern eras, we always like to call it the LaRussa era Ford. You have one game to win. Who are you going to give the ball to, Carpenter or Wainwright?
I'm going Carpenter every time. Like, just the game to get in the World Series against Roy Halladay, just Carpenter.
Yeah, it's always Chris Carpenter, and that's who you're always going to take over Adam Wainwright in these situations. Carpenter, a lot of times, just pitched on huevos, 3 days
Yeah, I
rest,
did.
etc. And his fumes and attitude were still better than half the guys in the MLB at the time.
Mhm.
He had body part. I think he had a rib removed to try to pitch again. I mean,
He did something crazy, you're right. Uh, I wish that dude was still in the organization.
I believe he is with the Los Angeles Angels these days as a part of
I
that great flock out of St. Louis when the tank started running dry.
Yeah, once we stopped paying guys and COVID hit, yeah.
Tyrell, you following any WBC?
I've been seeing a little bit of on the feeds and everything, and I saw that Juan Soto hit the walk off against Mercy killed the team today, and then saw that home run last night. Wasn't Brazil? Was that Dominican Republic did that or
Yeah.
yeah, that was awesome, dude. That stands, and then Otani hitting a grand slam already, like, and he like pulled that ball, and that ball was outside.
Yeah, he's unreal. I turned on the Japanese game when I got up to go to work Friday morning, or Thursday morning, whatever it started. They were already up 15-0 or whatever. It was like game's been on an hour. How is it that Chinese Taipei can produce the best little leaguers in the world but cannot give you an MLB player?
I, it's a valid point. I don't know. They uh they just don't continue on with it.
Possibly. This thing is setting up for like we talked about last week. It's going to be the Dominican, it's going to be Puerto Rico, Japan, and Team USA, and it's going to be a fun Final Four. Terrell, the other topic tonight, the kind of the fun one, we talked about Adam Wainwright a little bit. Yachty probably going ahead of Pujols, in my opinion, in the Hall of Fame. Who do you think are the top three most popular players in Cardinal history? And I'm talking Hall of Famers, just guys, because it's going to be interesting when it's time for Waino. Will they retire his number? They've got a long-standing policy of only being in the MLB Hall of Fame
Hmm,
to get
hmm.
your jersey retired. They've never retired Willie McGee, who's arguably the most popular player in Cardinals history, who's not in the Hall of Fame. So my question for you is, who are the top three most popular players you think in franchise history that are not in the Hall of Fame
David Freese.
based off 2 weeks in October?
Bro, yeah, I mean, that dude will never ever buy a drink in St. Louis again, and I would worship him if I saw him out here in Arizona. I would stop. Hey, I gotta, yes, Freeze, McGee, man, not in the Hall of Fame. John Tudor.
Oh, that's a name I haven't thought of in a while.
Yeah, a lot of people really like Tudor in the '80s, and you got a lot of your people came back to the Cardinals with the '80s with the Whitey ball. So I would think Tudor was your standout pitcher of a lot of that stuff, and helped him get through that. So I would think Tudor.
I'm going to go different here. Let's go
Please say,
Jose Oquendo,
oh
the
God,
secret weapon.
secret weapon. Okay, that works. Okay, I did that plays.
Oquendo, super popular player. I'm going to say, I'm going to loop them all together. Your Brendan Donovans, your Aaron Miles, your Bo Hart, your
Your Joe
scrappy white
McEwing.
Joe McEwing, your scrappy white middle infielders. It goes Willie McGee, scrappy white middle infielders, everybody else in St. Louis.
It really does. It really does.
That's why
Pete
Sajasi's going
Cosma.
to become a cult hero, I think.
Yes, there you go. There you go. I agree. Especially with his Italian look, and he's gonna
Yeah.
fit in perfect at the hill. Oh yeah, yep. He's born for St. Louis.
And then, gosh, I'm gonna say Tim McCarver.
Dude, fair. That is fair.
And
I do miss Tim. I love his voice.
he was very, velvety voice, was Bob Gibson's catcher. Him and Danny Mac calling games or peak Cardinal baseball for me, man.
Yeah, Don. It was really fun. I really liked that combination. I got into Cardinal baseball with Jack. Then I went with Joe, Mike Shannon, Danny. Danny Mac just brings it.
Hey, he's back calling Mizzou baseball games on TV.
Hey, good for him. Good for him. Like that for that
Our
guy.
friend of our show, Matt Michaels, who was our very first guest, about a year ago when we did this, is the radio play-by-play voice of Mizzou baseball. I
Oh,
wonder if we can
cool.
get Danny Mac on our show.
Ooh. Yeah. Just process of I like this. I like where your head's going here. Let's try to get Danny Mac on the show.
Oh man, we would just turn it over to him, let him talk.
Absolutely. Yeah. That man's got so many stories.
It would just be the Danny Mac podcast at this point, and I'm here for it.
Yes. Those smooth tones he's got with that voice. Yeah, let's go.
Maybe he could just even do our intro.
Hey, there you go.
That's
Hey,
I
I like
mean,
this.
you watch
Yes.
his old Cardinal games on YouTube, and this is St. Louis Cardinal
Cardinal
baseball, and
baseball.
like you hear the Fox theme, and Chip Carey does a great job, but it's just not the same.
I follow that Cardinals baseball classics or whatever. It's on YouTube, and they got old Cardinals broadcasts on there. And I turned on a Kansas City St. Louis game the other day from '09. It was a Pools. I was wanting to watch the MVP for season for Pools, but it was the Kansas City Fox Sports Midwest theme, and I was like, "Oh God, I hate this. There's no Danny Mac. No, thank you."
It was oh gosh, Ryan Lefebvre, I think, does the Royals broadcast, and Rex
Yes,
Hudler,
yeah. Rex Hudler, former Cardinal, by the way.
scrappy white dude.
You were right, sir. You're right.
Renowned in St. Louis. Finally tonight, it's about time the grill. It's gonna be 85 in Central Missouri tomorrow. The grill's out again. Tyrell, how do you like your chicken wings? Are you a flats or a drummies guy?
Flats. Oh, flats, it gets more juice. Oh, yeah, there might it just if you eat them right, I'm flats all day.
I'm a drummy guy. I
Okay?
like the way the drummies go. Are you a ranch or a blue cheese?
Neither. S
Neither.
neither. I want the rub to speak for itself. Rub does the work.
That's fair. In our fair Central Missouri Midwest thing, ranch is king, and I don't understand why. It is trash.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't,
People
yeah.
lose their minds for some fucking ranch around here, man, and I just don't get it.
Ranch on pizza too, man. Just dipping that stuff in there.
Ugh.
Yep.
I've lately been putting hot honey on pizza.
Hey, now we're
That's a game
talking.
changer.
Uh-huh. Yes, sir.
I'm a huge hot honey fan. Like that has just been fantastic. It's been one of my many guilty pleasures of late.
Hey.
Uh, haven't been doing a lot of food lately. Finally ate a slice of birthday cake yesterday and probably good for a while on that. We are down 30 plus pounds now since January 1st. Looking good, feeling good. Got a few more pounds to go, but trying to just get back to being healthy at, turning 44 tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm with you there, buddy. So cheers. Happy birthday. 44. I'll see you there in July, okay?
Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah.
That is going to wrap us up for tonight. For the Mouth of the West, Tyrell Mock, I am Mitchell Jenkins, and we will see you next week.